Hey there, everyone. Welcome. Hope you're all doing well. Looking forward to seeing some familiar, beautiful faces soon, but also happy to be able to share this practice, this restorative practice, with you at a time that works for you. And yeah, just that we have the ability, technology, allows us to be together in our home studios. The good thing about doing it at home is if you need to take a break, go use the bathroom. Doesn't matter what you look like. All of that is free and available. So today, what you're going to need for the practice, or what is nice to have around, is a belt or a strap, a scarf, something. And I have a couple of pillows. Blankets can be nice, eye pillows. This is a pretty much a low-key practice, so we're not doing a sun salutation type flow at all. And intention for our practice this week is to just see if we can make some space to be okay with whatever might be arising. Yeah, for this moment just to be sufficient, to be good enough. We're all used to or are familiar with that idea of the glass being either half full or half empty in our attitude and our approach to our days, our practice on and off the mat. But if we, rather than seeing the glass half full or half empty, if we can just see the glass and have some fun and some gratefulness towards just that fact that there is a glass, a container that is holding all of this experience that we're sharing in, and seeing that there's some gifts in it all, regardless of whether there's scarcity or overwhelm. So let's begin. You can just see how that might percolate to your practice, especially since there's a lot of stillness in this practice. It's nice to have something to come back to, an intention, just to be with this container as we start to lie down. So I'm taking those pillows underneath my upper thighs. You could be using blocks if that's what you have at home. Tucking the tailbone. And so it's a long diamond shape with the legs. And rather than just having the hips hanging out in space, these supports give a lot more ease there. Tucking the shoulder blades underneath yourself. The arms can move away from the body in an A-frame shape, and the palms roll open to the ceiling. Or perhaps you'd like to rest your palms somewhere on the abdomen, or one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. Not straining to be in any particular correct position or alignment, but just something that feels like you can be present and relax. And as you come to be in this posture, some room for the low back and the belly. Just make sure that you are comfortable. So if you're feeling some compression in the lower back, or just that this isn't the right place for you, then you could alternatively have the knees coming in together and have the feet wide, and you could skip the hip opening. Let's start with your eyes open. Just to be aware that there's a field of vision here, that we have this sense. And whatever we're looking at, And you can look around. You can move your head around from side to side. Look around the room with your eyes open. Seeing what's here. Actually taking in this visual field, things that are in your room, on your walls, some cobwebs maybe on the ceiling. See what you're seeing. And let that be enough. When we are in the sensory realm, we are present. At any time, you can just settle your gaze on a single point or close your eyes and take in what else might be here. What else do we notice? A field of hearing, some of the vibrations or sounds that are coming in your room, in your household, or outside your window. This is part of a practice of stopping, just pausing, brings us into presence. Taste, smell some of the other senses that are here. The sense of touch, your hands on your torso, your lungs moving, or your awareness of the body, the feeling of weight or pressure, connection and support from the earth. Also pausing to notice what may be present in the mind across that mental landscape. Some anxiety, some agitation, or some leaning into what may be coming later, some restlessness. It's okay. Can I make room for this? Using the breath can be helpful to act as a flagpole for the awareness, something to return to that is happening right here and now, following the breath cycles that are coming and going. And you might connect with the movement of the lungs, feeling that rising and falling, some widening against the floor of your lower back or the palms, lifting and lowering as the lungs are opening and closing. Filling and emptying this vessel, this container. Just going to read a poem to start our practice, to give something around that intention of having enough or sufficiency, okay with the container, regardless of the half empty or half full. Today I will praise the sun for showering its light on this darkened vessel. I will lift my hands in adoration of how something so bright could be so heavy. I will praise the heart for housing this living room of emotions. Praise the name that is my name. Praise yourself for being able to praise, for waking up when you had every reason not to. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Waking up the sensations in the body through some deeper breaths, breathing in through the nose again. Pause and exhale, empty, empty, empty. Let's bring the hands to the thighs and let the knees come into touch. So use your hands to move the knees in. You can move those pillows out to the side. And with the knees into touch, start to reach your arms wide or long behind you and drop the low belly. Press into the feet. Just feel the low back widen against the floor, the inner upper thigh muscles and the femur bones turning into center. Another deep breath in, filling the container, and then exhale, exhale, empty it all out. Just let the arms soften to a cactus shape at the sides of your body. Slowly let the right knee fall over towards the right and let the left knee follow. Come to the edges of your feet, so the baby toe edge of the right foot, big toe edge of the left foot. Wrap your left knee long towards the bottom of the mat. Filling in the container, that wider space through the left side of the body. Feel like you can just puff up there like a balloon or like you're wearing a spacesuit. Allowing the breath to move in and out, just some naturally long, wide breaths. Start to lift the left knee up, inhaling center, and let the right knee start to drop. Left knee falling to the left, wiggling the feet a comfortable distance apart. Wrapping the right knee towards the bottom left corner of the mat. You can bring the feet a little closer together if this is bringing some aggravation to the low back. Moving into the posture and then just settling in, maybe looking down towards the right and taking 2 full breath cycles on this side. The breath is easy and powerful at the same time. Right knee comes back up, left knee comes back up. Hug both knees in towards the chest and exhale. Let the tailbone reach long. Uttanasana, a few times moving. Knees reach away. And the knees hug in, hands on shins or thighs. Knees reach away, inhale. And exhale, hug the thighs in. Knees reach away and place the feet on the floor. Press the thighs away. Make some space in the front hip flexors as you press the low back down towards the floor. Feet are hips distance apart. Let's rock through a few pelvic tilts. Let the tailbone drop towards the earth and feel some space under your low back. And then as you exhale, press the thighs with the hands and let the low back widen against the floor. Breath comes in, space under the low back, and then exhale, press the palms away. Rocking through 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Let's bring the hands to the floor. Let that space come again underneath the low back. And then press the low back to the floor and lift the hips just up to a drawbridge position. Drop a little on the exhale. And then lift back up. Just that drawbridge position. Squeeze your glutes a little bit there just to feel that. Soften the buttocks, hips heavy, but just not touching the floor. And then press into the feet again. Reach the knees, squeeze the bum cheeks. Just take it to that drawbridge. So you're still feeling lots of contact with the ground through the upper back. Let's lower one more time. And then press up there. Good. So let's walk the feet so they're together and we're still in that drawbridge shape. So the big toe side of the foot is maybe not quite all the way together, but closer together. And let your knees start to fall open. So your knees fall open. Squeeze the bum cheeks a little bit. See if you can lift the hips higher. Inhale. And then exhale, soften the knees a little bit. We're trying to release the lower back. And then squeeze, let the knees move away. Squeeze the glutes. And then exhale, just drop a little bit. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale. And exhale, drop. And let's do 3 more, engaging the pelvis, the glutes. Just going in your own time, seeing what can soften in your face, even as you contract those buttock muscles. And 1 more time, we'll squeeze it there. I'm just going to do a few little pulses for 3. Little squeezes, 2. And 1, lower down. Soften at the bottom, breathe in. Let's have the knees come towards the armpits now. Then let the heels be heavy here, and we'll rock right elbow, left elbow. Swishing across the tailbone, nice and long, massaging in the lower back. Slow that movement down as you come back to center and hug the knees, and then with your hands, 1 on either kneecap, do a few circles around. Stir out those circles. And then changing directions. Let's let the legs float up towards the ceiling now and give them a shake. Lots of shaking and bouncing. Take the arms up as well. So our fascial network is like a Spider-Man suit, crisscrossing through the entirety of the body. And we're bringing some nutrition to that by getting the juices flowing that help to keep that elastic webbing more supple. So it's an easy type movement, a little bit quick, loose, and some exhales. Maybe notice the heart rate starts to increase. Let's take the feet and kick them to the right and the arms to the left. So more like seaweed or spaghetti, back to center. And over to the other side. Shake, shake, shake. A little more in center. Inhale. And then exhale. Take the hands to the inner thighs. Let the legs start to open up. You can keep a bend at the knees. Hold the inner thighs or the outer thighs. Sometimes I like to find a platform with my elbows just resting on the floor. Let's circle out the ankles here. Maybe breathing one way, filling up and emptying in the other direction. Playing with the feet, point and flex, or make a fist with the toes and turn your head left and right. Take in your feet, or just see what is in front of you. It's coming back. Maybe that field of vision is the thing that can be your flagpole that brings you out of the stories of mind. And bring the knees back to center. Squeeze, exhale. Feet to the floor and lengthen the legs out long. Reach the arms beyond the head for a big stretch out. Inhale. And heels to the right. Exhale. Catch the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, head starts to wobble over to the right, opening up that whole left side body for 3 breaths on this side. And just relax the feet. They can flop open, even soften at the elbows as well. 2 more breath cycles here, letting the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. If your eyes are open, again, just see where it is that your gaze is, what it's picking up. Inhale, center, stretch out, the front hip flexor, psoas, and then heels to the left. Exhale, breathe in. Catch the right wrist and walk the upper body, the torso, the head, neck, and shoulders, nodding over to the left. Once you're in the pose, soften the arms, the legs. See what you might be able to be okay with here. What is enough? Not having to lean in too far to get to your max stretch, or to be too far back and be falling asleep. So awake and alert. Through center, lengthen out. And exhale, hug the knees in one more time. We're going to be doing a little bit of sitting today, so let's bring the feet to the floor. Back in that bridge shape. From there, take the right leg up towards the ceiling. You can use your strap, or you can have your hands around your right upper thigh and press the heel a little more reaching up, and press your hamstring into your strap or your hands. So if you have the strap, it's around your hamstring. Going for some length and sensation in the back line of that leg without having to draw the toes towards the face. Just pressing out there. Inhale. Exhale. You can use the strap or your hands to move that femur bone, the top of the thigh, in and out, in and out. You might be looking at your foot and just seeing that it also is moving, and that action is coming from this internal and external rotation. You can try doing that without using the strap or your hands. Just a little more engagement in the hip. Turn the toes out this time and cross the right ankle above the left knee. Let's just press up into a little bridge on the inhale, not too high. And then exhale to lower. So wrap your outer right thigh away from center as you lift. Feel the pelvis, maybe with your hands, trying to keep the front hip bones in neutral, or in a position where they're continuing to be drawing towards the ceiling as you lift and lower. A little bit of action in the left glutes here. One more time. And lower that back down, pause. I'm going to take a few breaths there, pressing energetically the sole of the right foot to the left, or drawing the left knee in towards the chest. Could be your strap, or you could use your hands around your left thigh to draw that thigh in. And if you don't need that, just keep your left foot on the floor for 2 more breath cycles. Let it go. Good. Let's drop the right knee over the left knee now. Squeeze as if you're sitting in a chair. Your legs are crossed in that chair, and draw the knees in towards the chest. Head can stay on the floor and the heels can stay heavy towards your seat. Or tuck the chin in, come up and grab the shins, drawing them away from each other, and then bringing the head back down. Just being with the sensations in the outer right hip. Can we reach the tailbone long rather than having the curve in the lower back? Easing back from the pose if you're feeling any discomfort in the knees or in the lower back. One more inhale. And exhale. Uncross the legs. Let's do a couple of bridge roll-ups, pressing the low back first and then lifting the hips. You might come up a little higher this time. And then a straight roll back down, exhale. Straight lift up, inhale. Exhale, float back down. Up to you. It can be the straight lift up and then the straight lower back down, or you can roll through the spine and articulate that one vertebra at a time. No right or wrong, just exploring this laboratory, this container of experience right now. Good, let's bring the left knee in for a squeeze. And then left heel to the ceiling with your hands or with the strap around the hamstring, pressing into that support to reach the heel up there. I like to keep my right foot on the floor, helps to take the, feel a little easier in the low back, but you could straighten the right leg out as well. If your back is fine, no problem there. What can be softened in the lungs, in the chest, anything that doesn't need to be gripping here. Allowing the space, coming into the back line, behind the knee, calf, hamstring, left side. I'm going to bend my right leg again, and then a bit of a hug or a squeeze with the strap or your hands on the left upper thigh and turning the thigh bone in and out, in and out. With the back of your hip, feels like you're squishing something into the back of the mat, watching your whole foot move. So the action is coming from that ball and socket. When the toes turn out, this time cross the left ankle above the right knee. You can feel for the frontal hip bones, pressing into the thighs with your hands. And keep your hands there. And then we'll just try a little bridge or a little lift into that drawbridge, pressing into the right foot and squeezing right bum cheek, keeping the left knee moving away from center and then lowering down. Just those little lifts and lowers. Squeezing the drawstring around your pelvis a little tighter. Good, exhale, lower. Just working here, or bringing the right knee in towards the chest to thread the needle with your hands or your strap. Settling into 3 more breaths. Taking in the imbalance, the differences left to right. Last inhale. Empty, empty, empty. Let's cross the left knee over the right knee. Now squeeze the inner thighs. Find the center line in your lower back and then draw the knees in towards the chest. Wrap the hands around the thighs or grab the shins. Heels can stay heavy. Or tuck the chin and come up and separate the shins a little bit. Some might want to grab the bottoms of the feet and then come back down. So let the head and shoulders be on the ground. Reach the tailbone. Wrap the outer left hip towards the bottom of your mat. You're welcome to have a pillow, something underneath the head. Expanding and deflating. Descending colon gets a massage. One more inhale. Exhale. Let's uncross the legs. A little bit of a bounce. Anything that you need to do here. Another shake or a little tantrum with the legs in the air or feet on the ground and bouncing it out. I'm going to roll over to one side. Just pause there for a moment in this rescue transition posture from lying down for a while. Excuse me, and then press up. Just going to take a seat for a few moments. And that could be on a chair. You can boost yourself up on a pillow. So we'll be able to work a little bit into the neck and shoulders. Wherever it is that you'll have some ease in the spine. And so let's just find that. Taking in the body in this posture now. Eyes can be open as well. Once again, just see what's in front of you. So look around. Just a different perspective. Chance to pause and take it in. We're not used to being in this slowing down and seeing what's actually here right now that can be attended to. Some tension maybe in the neck or the face. Let's come back to center. And we'll rub the palms together. Invite some heat, some connection. Feel whatever it is you're feeling in your palms and look at your palms as you're doing this. And then rest the hands over the eyes. I've been looking at a screen a lot today, so the eyes are still kind of foggy and blurry, just giving them a break. Bring the palms out towards the temples and make a few circles in there. Maybe some tension or strain in the brain that is here. Don't need to know what it is. And then bring the hands down the sides, in front of the ears, along the jawline. Get into the area where the top and bottom jaw meet. A little bit of pressure with your thumbs into this overdeveloped muscle area. Oh, maybe wear a mouth guard at night. Let's take peace fingers and bring them between the eyebrows and then down and give a sweep and a clear out, just some spring cleaning underneath the eyes. Some of the accumulation, some of the lines, creases. And then thumbs to the space between the eyebrows again, that area of the brain that represents wisdom, pressing onto that gland, the pineal gland, and then spreading the thumbs across the forehead a couple of times to actually massage and clear some of the extra baggage out to the sidelines. Release the arms and do a few big arm circles, or in whatever that size is that's right for you right now. Opening and closing the hands, fingers, flicking raindrops. And reach the arms up, palms face in towards each other. Bring the right fingers down and take a side stretch over towards the right. And then come right back up, inhale. And exhale. Can even let that left arm just dangle. Reach up, lengthen, inhale. And then exhale. Let's pause, just a couple little bobs. I'm just keeping the left arm nice and loose. So a little bit of this bouncing is also really good for that fascial network. Some elasticity here. Let's come up now and reach the left arm up and then back. Spin the palm open. Right hand can land anywhere in front on your shin or thigh. Right side, or it can wrap around to the left side. Left palm spins towards the ceiling for a breath. And then bring the left hand down there to hold your chair or fingertips to the floor. Imagine that you have a space suit and you're Expanding out into that. We're filling that container on the inhale and letting it drain out on the exhale. Let's come back to center, do a little twist over towards the right. And then release. Center a few shoulder loops out. And just let the elbows hang heavy like the sleeves off a shirt on a hanger in both directions. If you're sitting cross-legged like me, let's change the shape of the legs. Sitting a little forward on your sit bones. Good. The eyes are closed again, just open them. Let's turn the gaze over towards the right, see what's over there. Breathe in and then exhale, chin. Down maybe 25%. Let's see what's down. Looking over to the right, hand or thigh. Center. Over to about 75%. And then just looking out over the left shoulder. Take a trip down through the middle. Right ear, right shoulder, and then back. Just drop the left ear, left shoulder, and go a couple more times through either just the front line or do a big circle all the way around. And come back through center. Bring the arms into a cactus shape and fingertips on tops of the shoulders. A few circles out through the elbows, squeezing. And squeezing again at the back. Squeeze together and then squeeze apart. One more time through that. Changing direction. So reach both arms up again. Inhale. Left fingertips down. Exhale. Lengthen up and then take it into the side stretch. And then wave it back up again. Exhaling the side stretch. A little bit of a bounce back up. You can let this right arm just be loose. And a few more of those bounces, big or small. Staying anchored through the right sit bone. Pause here for one more breath. Inhale to lift up, reach the right arm up, left hand to the left thigh or ankle. We're starting to open up, so press away a little bit from whatever you've got your left hand on so you can spin your right arm up and back into twist. Let's take another breath there with the right arm lifted and then let the right fingertips come down. Holding your chair or your cushion or fingertips to the floor, fill up the spacesuit. Bobble out into that Michelin Man. Tailbone to the top of the skull. A couple more breaths. And slowly back to center. Take a little twist to the left, just to even things out. Good. Back to center. Squeeze shoulders. Inhale. Let's make some noise. Inhale. Empty out. Once more. And we'll come off of the chair or lift. Onto hands and knees. Fingers spread and shift forward and back. After sitting for a little bit. Shifting forward to almost an upward facing dog. And keep really loose in the legs and then back towards a child's pose. Inhale, cross at the ankles and let your pelvis settle a bit. The elbows can bend and then exhale, sit back. And just keep switching the cross of the ankles as you come forward and back. Do that one more time. And then uncross at the ankles. Let your hips drop towards the right, so a swishing movement. Keep a bit of a lift in your lower belly as you drop the hips to the left. Inhale, center, and exhale, hips to the right. Any amount, inhale, center. You can just let your head be heavy. And center, come back into a cow on the inhale. And exhale, press it into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, peel the belly up and back. And once more, press right out to the fingertips. Stretching out the wrists into cat. And then let's flip the hands so the tops of the hands are down now. And just get a bit of a counter stretch. If you feel it's okay to curl the fingers in, you can try that, doing a open and closing action. Open and close, open and close. And then sit right back towards the heels and take the hands and just noodle them around here. Bit of musical instrument, playing the banjo, and then flicking, flick, 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 shake, shake, shake. Let's find a couple of pillows now. And I'm going to lay them down on the mat. One, we're going to do a little more side opening today. So a pillow for the head. You could be using blankets instead or blocks. On my left side. It's going to sit down beside the first pillow. And then you'll adjust the height of things depending on how squishy your props might be. So I'll drape left side of the torso up and over that pillow. And then place the head on the second pillow. And you don't have to have a second pillow. If you don't mind your head right on the floor or just a blanket, a towel is fine too. So just that little bit of height underneath the torso is going to help to open up space in the lungs on this side of the container. Your right hand can be resting at your hip, or it can drape above your head. If you have a wall or something there, or it could be that the pillow is something that you decide is better to just rest your hand on, you're going to experiment with these things. And it's going to be different depending on what you're waking up to today, what's here. Now, part of the practice of truly being present. Your knees can stay bent, or you can straighten out the top leg, or even both legs for that matter. These are postures that we hold for a couple of minutes, so there can be a fair bit of intensity that may come. And the effort is just to get into the pose, the physical effort of it. And then once we're in the pose, to see if we can be relaxed in that effort that we've taken. Might be helpful to anchor the attention, or to use that flagpole of a visual field or the field of sound. Breath is often a good choice to have attention on that. In and out, in and out. This is a practice.
We get to notice if we're leaning in too hard, trying to stay with something. We're trying to push or get away from a particular train of thought. Can this be okay? Can this be enough? Just to know the glass is here. Let's take 3 more breaths on this side. Excuse me. That's a good one. And to come out of the pose, let's bring the right hand in front of the face, pressing up. You can turn to face the bottom of your mat and give the legs a shake. Let's come forward for a moment and just do a bit of a dusting off. So dust off anything sticky in your hands, brushing or exfoliating down the legs, the arms. Get almost like you're sweeping, and the dead cells, wherever it is that you can reach. So second side, you can just flip over to the other side. So be on your right side. I'm going to move my props. Something's coming underneath your rib cage. You can have a folded up the pillow if you want something that's a little higher. If your pillow's really squishy, and start with your knees bent. It's almost like you're sitting in a chair. Your head can rest on another pillow, or the head can be down on the floor. You're going to decide how it is on this side. Trying not to be falling back or leaning forward. So we're on our side. Left hand can rest at the hip or even in front for some support. Or begin to drape beyond the head. You might find you contact a piece of furniture, even there's a chair or something there. Or with something underneath the arm. For me, it's nice to have the head just on the floor. Knees can stay bent. Just preparing the vessel to take the shape. So feeling the sensations that are coming before moving into or trying to get to some destination. The lungs on the left side of the body receiving, the organs on the left side, that side of the kidneys, the spleen, digestive organs. The top leg could straighten out, doesn't need to go there. Just choosing a shape, setting your gaze with the eyes open or closed. Seeing what might be gripping, what could be released. Can I allow the thoughts to be here? Or the emotional tone? Opening up the door for this house guest, so to speak. Offering them a cup of tea. Let's take 3 more breaths on this side. It's 1, 2, and 3. Top hand comes down and presses. Coming back up to turn to face the bottom edge of the mat. For this time, let's lean back and drop the knees from side to side. Take a seated child's pose. Actually, let's have the soles of the feet come together. You can use one of your pillows underneath your seat if you like. And then let the spine drape forward. Hands might come to the floor. You just use them as a little bit of breaks, or resting on your thighs, or bringing in another prop. Using whatever's in your space to be creative here, to support your body. And we'll take 5 deep breaths in and out through the nose. 3-dimensional breath, front, sides, back. Filling the entirety of this vessel, tips of the toes, crown of the head. 1 more like that. Chin to chest to come up. Let's come on to the back with a pillow between the knees. This time the knees will go over to the left. The other pillow could be underneath your head or your right shoulder. You're going to finish with a twist, bringing the left hand to the right thigh just to rest there if that feels good, or the left arm can rest on the right side of the rib cage. Gazing to the ceiling or gazing over the right shoulder. Last breath on this side. And back to center on the inhale and adjust your spine. I like to slide my hips a little bit to the other side. So hips to the left, and then squeeze the pillow between your thighs, knees or shins. Adjusting so the right side of the rib cage can wrap under a little bit, move to the right, and then the arms can just rest at the sides or rest on the abdomen. Or stretch out into any shape, wings. Right hand can rest on the left thigh for a little bit of weight. See what's here on this side. Settle your gaze or close your eyes. Just allowing for about 10 breaths. Seeing if
It's okay for this to be enough. Having some friendliness to all that might be stirring, patience, anxiety, agendas. All things that are here. Last breath in and out. Let's just roll onto the back. I like to bounce my hips a few times. Take any final movements that you'd like. Set yourself up with props in a way that'll be supportive. So maybe underneath the thighs with your pillows, a blanket or an eye pillow. Lengthen the legs out. Coming to rest on the back. Tucking the shoulder blades. Taking the last breath in through the nose. Just for a moment, tighten everything up. Squeeze fists, toes to the face, squeeze the face. Feel all that tightness. And then release. Rest and digest. And as you rest, I'll read that poem one more time. It's actually snippets of a poem. It's way too long, but now that you have spent some time and created some space around that intention of not glass half full or half empty, just beholding the glass, this vessel itself as it rests here. Today I will praise the sun for showering its light on this darkened vessel. I will lift my hands in adoration of how something so bright could be so heavy. I will praise the heart for housing this living room of emotions. Praise the name that is my name. Praise yourself for being able to praise, for waking up when you had every reason not to. If you're able to rest for longer, or if it's evening and you're drifting off to sleep, please do that. Otherwise, if you're closing your practice and moving on with your activities, you can start to blink the eyes open and take in the surroundings, take in what's in your space. A stretch perhaps, some movement through the fingers and toes. Rolling to one side. And coming back up to sit. Taking a moment sitting, taking in the entirety of the body sitting. Palms resting in the lap or meeting at the heart center. Acknowledging the presence of other beings. Also with the intention of wishing for this moment to be enough, perfect. May the merits of our practice extend themselves beyond our own walls, reaching out towards each other, our neighborhoods, communities, beyond borders, the ripple effect of our individual practice of making space shared for all beings. May all beings be safe. May all beings be well. May all beings be free from suffering and happy. Namaste. Thanks for your practice. See you soon.